Good morning to everyone. So this is the sum we will do now. Summary balance sheet as on 31st December 2012. We are doing consolidated financial statement, our first chapter, wherein we have discussed in the previous lecture what happens is one company acquires maximum shares in another company. So the one which acquires maximum shares is a holding company, and whose maximum shares are purchased is a subsidiary company. Here there are two companies, H Limited and S Limited. So we have to see from this S and H, which is a holding company and which is a subsidiary company. Let us read further to understand that which is a holding company and which is a subsidiary company. Share capital of rupees 10 each. So 1 lakh means shares are of 10 rupees each. 1 lakh divided by 10, we get 10,000 shares. And S Limited 50,000 divided by 10, we get 5,000 shares. Then reserve is there 10,000, 5,000. Profit and loss account 10,000, 4,000. Creditors 5,000, 4,000. In the asset side, we have current asset 60,000, 63,000. Then we have investment 4,000 shares in S Limited. That means, and the amount is there in H Limited. That means what we can conclude, which is a holding company who has acquired maximum shares in the other company, H Limited has purchased maximum share. S Limited had 5,000 shares, out of which 4,000 shares are purchased by H Limited of S Limited. S Limited had 5,000 shares and H Limited purchased 4,000 shares. You can understand reading here 4,000 shares in S Limited. S is the another company. So what we can say, which is the holding company and which is the subsidiary company. Holding company purchases maximum shares of subsidiary company. So H Limited has purchased the maximum shares of S Limited. H Limited has purchased 4,000 shares out of 5,000 share. तो maximum share खरीदा. तो H Limited is the holding company and S Limited is a subsidiary company. H Limited acquired the shares on 1st January 2012, which is the date when shares were acquired, 1st January 2012. 1st January 2012. So, and this balance sheet is on 31st January 2012, means beginning of the year. The beginning of the year, in the beginning, what has happened? Acquisition has taken place on the first day of the year, because the year end is 31st December 2012 and acquisition has taken place on 1st January 2012. Acquisition has taken place on 1st January 2012. 1 year, na? Full beginning of the year acquisition. So on that date, they say on 1st January 2012, profit and loss account of S Limited had a credit balance of 1,000. On 1st January 2012, profit and loss account of S Limited had a credit balance of 1,000. Now, at the year end, the balance is 4,000. एक्विजिशन के दिन बैलेंस 1000 था और एंड ऑफ द ईयर में बैलेंस इज 4000. So can anyone tell me how much is the profit after acquisition? एक्विजिशन के बाद कितना प्रॉफिट हुआ है प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में ऑन फर्स्ट डे ऑफ द ईयर, दैट इज जिस दिन एक्विजिशन हुआ, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट had a credit balance of 1000 and year end में it has 4000. So how much is the profit after acquisition? How much is profit after acquisition? 1000 था जिस दिन एक्विजिशन हुआ, मतलब दिस इज द प्रॉफिट बिफोर एक्विजिशन, एंड ईयर एंड में इट इज 4000. सो 4000 minus 1000, after acquisition profit is 3000 in the profit and loss account. And reserve में profit was 3000. reserve में profit was 3000. reserve में profit was 3000. now it is 5000. so how much is after acquisition? reserve में beginning में 3000 था, अभी 5000 है. so after acquisition कितना है? 5000 minus 3000, that is 2000. prepare consolidated balance sheet. We have to prepare consolidated balance sheet. Okay, so first step will be to find out the holding ratio. Our first step will be to find out the holding ratio. Holding ratio is the ratio between the shares held by H Limited, which is a holding company, is to shares held by S Limited, which is a subsidiary company. Now tell me how much shares? Total 50,000. This is the capital. One share is of 10 rupees. Capital is 50,000 and one share is of 10 rupees. So S Limited had 5,000 shares. S Limited had 5,000 shares. 50,000 divided by 10, that is 5,000. And H Limited acquired, S Limited had 5,000 shares and H Limited acquired 4,000 shares. So how much is the holding? Shares held by H Limited, 4,000. Shares held by S Limited, can anyone tell me? Total 5,000 shares था, जिसमें 4,000 शेयर H Limited ने खरीद लिया, तो कितना शेयर बच गया S Limited के पास? S Limited had 5,000, out of which 4,000 has been acquired by H Limited. So how much is the shares held by S Limited? It's 1,000. How do you get it? 5,000 minus 4,000. We get 1,000. So 1,000 shares, 4,000 shares. So 0, 0, 3, 0 हम कट कर सकते हैं. 3 zeros can be cancelled. 4,000 से 3 0 and 1,000 से 3 0. we get the holding ratio as 4:1. We get the holding ratio as 4:1. So now next what we will do is we will find out the capital profit. Capital profit is the profit before acquisition. Capital profit is the profit before acquisition. Profit before acquisition. तो acquisition से पहले प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में 1000 एंड रिजर्व में 3000 था. सो कैपिटल प्रॉफिट कितना हो जाएगा? प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट profit before acquisition. So profit before acquisition, profit and loss at 1000 and reserve had 3000. So total becomes 4000, जो कि हमें दो कंपनी में डिवाइड करना है, H Limited and S Limited. 4000 into what is the ratio? 4000 into 4 divided by 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. 1 divided by 5. So how much you get? How much you get? Calculate and tell me how much answer you get. 4000 into 4 divided by 5. How much you get? Are you getting this answer? Check everyone. Check whether you get the same answer. So then we go to the next one, which is known as revenue profit. Profit after acquisition. Capital profit is profit before acquisition. Acquisition होने से पहले का profit, and revenue profit is profit after acquisition. Revenue profit is profit after acquisition. So we have profit and loss account, which have 4000, and before acquisition it had 1000. So what is after acquisition profit? Profit and loss account. 4000 में से 1000 minus किया, so we are left with 3000. Same way reserve में 5000 minus before acquisition 3000 था, so this will be 2000, right? So हमारा revenue profit is 5000. Now divide it. H Limited and S Limited. 5000 into 4 divided by 5. 4:1. Holding company and subsidiary company will get these profits 1 divided by 5. So how much you get? You get your 4000 and you get your 1000. You got the revenue profit. कैपिटल प्रॉफिट भी मिल गया, रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट भी मिल गया. Now next our step is cost of control. Cost of control means we have to find out whether it's a goodwill or a capital reserve. We have to find out whether it's a goodwill or a capital reserve. Goodwill or a capital reserve. Now, what is cost of control? Cost of control means here H Limited acquired maximum shares in S Limited. So it has the controlling power in S Limited. Holding company H Limited has a controlling power in S Limited, that is a subsidiary company. Now, what cost it has incurred to have that control? Cost of control means what cost it has paid to get the controlling power on subsidiary company. That is cost of control. So cost of control में सबसे पहले we will write cost of investment. So I have discussed all these points in the last lecture, and we have also done a sum in the last lecture, and I have explained all the concepts. So you all can watch the previous lecture because I have sent the recording also to all of you. So it is there in my YouTube channel. So you can watch that lecture and you can clarify all the concepts. If you have missed the previous lecture, you can go through the recording of the previous lecture and you will be able to understand these. Your concepts will get cleared. So cost of investment, how much amount H Limited has paid to purchase 4,000 shares in S Limited. It is 65,000. Investment, cost of investment. H Limited has paid money, has invested in the shares of S Limited. So कितना in 4,000 shares के लिए कितना पैसा पे किया? 4,000 shares के लिए कितना पैसा पे किया? It has paid 65,000. How much it has paid? 65,000. It has paid 65,000. So let us write down 65,000 cost of investment. 65,000. Cost of investment is 65,000 that we have seen in the question. Given in the question, 4,000 shares in S Limited, 65,000. Now, less how much shares it has got? H Limited. How much shares H Limited has got by paying 65,000? Paid up value of shares held by H Limited. How much it is? Here we can write 4,000 into one share is of 10 rupees, right? Paid up value, face value, 4,000 shares. How much H Limited has? 4,000 share and one share is of 10 rupees. So this becomes 40,000 लेस करना है. Then this H Limited has also got capital profit share of 1 minute. Share of capital profit of H Limited. देखो, capital profit is the profit before acquisition. Capital profit is the profit before acquisition. मतलब एक्वायर करने से एच लिमिटेड ने एस लिमिटेड को एक्वायर परचेज करने से पहले का प्रॉफिट. सो एच लिमिटेड ने एस लिमिटेड को परचेज करने से पहले का प्रॉफिट. So this profit is not the regular profit. This profit is a profit which H Limited has got free, मतलब एक्वायर नहीं किया था, उससे पहले का प्रॉफिट का शेयर मिल रहा है. तो ये हम क्या करते हैं, यहाँ पे माइनस करते हैं. हाउ मच इज दैट अमाउंट? एच लिमिटेड का कैपिटल प्रॉफिट का शेयर कितना है? 3,200. Now see how much amount you are getting. How much amount you are getting? Minus करो, you get 21,800. So tell me, हमने 65,000 दिया और 65,000 के लिए हमें 43,200 वर्थ का चीज मिला. 40,000 का शेयर, 3,200 का प्रॉफिट. We paid 65,000, but we have received worth 43,200 only. 40,000 paid a value of shares and capital profit में 3,200. Means we paid 65,000, but we got worth of only 43,200 things worth of so much only. So we have paid more than the value. तो हमने 21,800 एक्स्ट्रा पे किया. तो जब भी एक्स्ट्रा पे करते हैं तो वो किस चीज के लिए रहेगा? एक्स्ट्रा what we have paid is for the goodwill. Extra what we have paid is for the goodwill. So we have got the answer. हमें कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल में क्या मिला? गुडविल मिला. अगर हमने कम पैसा पे किया होता और एच लिमिटेड को प्रॉफिट होता, मीन 65,000 वर्थ, अगर उल्टा होता, यहाँ 21,800 पे किया और यहाँ पे सपोज हमें अज्यूम करो, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग अ अजम्पशन दैट हमें सपोज 70,000, या फिर यहाँ पे हमें आंसर आता कि अगर यहाँ पे हमें what is here we have got a positive answer, but if you would have got a negative answer here, means हमने जितना पे किया उससे ज्यादा का हमें चीजें मिला, शेयर्स एंड प्रॉफिट. सो वो सिचुएशन में वी विल से इट्स अ कैपिटल रिजर्व. It's a capital reserve. Here we have paid less. Sorry, here we have paid more. Here we have paid more than the worth. So we have paid for the reputation. हमने जो एक्स्ट्रा पैसा दिया वो रेप्यूटेशन के लिए दिया. अगर हम कम पैसा देते तो हमें प्रॉफिट होता, तो हम उसको बोलते कैपिटल रिजर्व. If you get a negative answer here, then it will be a capital reserve. If you get a positive answer, means we have paid extra for goodwill. Now next one. So here, the last one, what we will find out, working note is minority interest. minority interest is the share of the subsidiary company in the company. एस लिमिटेड का शेयर जो है उसको हम बोलते हैं माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट, द शेयर ऑफ द माइनॉरिटी, द शेयर, the interest of the minority means now the minority shares are with the S limited. H limited has 4,000 shares and S limited is left with 1,000 share. The interest of S limited in the company, the interest of minority, that is the one which has lesser share in the company, उसका क्या राइट, उसका क्या इंटरेस्ट है, that is known as minority interest. So minority interest में we will write paid up value paid up share capital held by S limited. कितना, 1,000 share and one share is of 10. You can see here 5,000 share में how much share is left with S limited, 1,000 shares, and paid up value एक share का 10 rupees है. So this becomes 10,000. Now हम ये shares मिला है, add, they have also got share in the capital profit, share of capital profit of S limited. How much is the capital profit of S limited? It is 800. Next, add revenue profit of S limited. S limited को revenue profit कितना मिला है? Revenue profit S limited 1,000. So we will write here 1,000. तो ये पूरा add करेंगे. So we will get the minority interest. Add 10 plus 800 plus 1,000. We get 11,800. This is known as minority interest. 1 minute. Minority interest. Now finally, so here consolidated profit and loss account. What is this consolidated profit and loss account? It is the profit and loss account which we will write in the balance sheet. Consolidated profit and loss account. Normally in the consolidated balance sheet हम ये एस लिमिटेड का रिजल्ट तो लेते ही नहीं, बिकॉज वो कैपिटल प्रॉफिट रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट में डिवाइड कर दिया. हम शेयर कैपिटल भी एस लिमिटेड का नहीं लेते. वी डू नॉट टेक द शेयर कैपिटल and reserves of the subsidiary company. When we prepare the consolidated balance sheet, we do not consider the share capital and reserves of subsidiary company. Once again, I repeat, when we prepare the consolidated balance sheet, we do not include, we do not consider the share capital and reserves of the subsidiary company because that is divided. शेयर कैपिटल जब हमने माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट फाइंड आउट किया, जब हमने कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल फाइंड आउट किया, तो सब्सिडरी कंपनी एंड होल्डिंग कंपनी का शेयर्स को हमने वहां पे डिवाइड कर दिया। कैपिटल रेवेन्यू एंड रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस को हमने रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट एंड कैपिटल प्रॉफिट में डिवाइड कर दिया। सो व्हेन वी विल टॉक अबाउट कंसोलिडेटेड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, we will only consider H Limited का profit. H Limited का profit and loss account is 10,000. Only that will come here. So consolidated profit and loss account 10,000. इसमें हम क्या करेंगे? देखो द रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट जो है यहाँ पे, कैपिटल प्रॉफिट दिस 3,200 हमने कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल में लिखा। ये 800 जो कैपिटल प्रॉफिट है वो माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट में लिखा, माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट में लिखा कैपिटल प्रॉफिट ऑफ एस लिमिटेड। ये जो रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट है इसमें एच लिमिटेड का रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट हमने किधर भी नहीं लिखा। एस लिमिटेड का जो रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट है दैट वी हैव रिटन व्हाइल calculating the minority interest, but ये 4,000 we have not shown anywhere else। जैसे हमने H लिमिटेड का कैपिटल प्रॉफिट कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल में दिखा दिया, S लिमिटेड का इन द माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट ऑल्सो 1,000 इन द माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट। ये जो 4,000 है ये हम कंसोलिडेटेड बैलेंस शीट में बताते। Where do we show? In the consolidated balance sheet. So add revenue profit of H Limited, which is how much? How much is the revenue profit of H Limited? It is 4,000. So this is 4,000. So total profit becomes 14,000. 10 plus 4. This becomes 14,000. Now let us prepare the consolidated. Let us prepare the consolidated balance sheet as asked in the question. Consolidated balance sheet of H Limited, which is the holding company, and its subsidiary S Limited, as on, what is the date given? 31st December 2012. Year and का date. So let us prepare the balance sheet. Particulars. Notes to account. And this is rupees. So first one, our liability side is called as equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. So equity means shareholders fund. Equity means shareholders fund, and equity has share capital. शेयरहोल्डर्स फंड में क्या आता है? शेयरहोल्डर्स फंड में आता है शेयर कैपिटल एंड रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस. शेयर कैपिटल एंड रिजर्व्स एंड surplus. So we will write 1 and 2. Note number 1 and note number 2. So let us elaborate it. Notes to account. First note, it is share capital. Share capital में जैसे I told you, we will consider only holding company shares. Share capital में we will consider only holding company shares. सब्सिडरी कंपनी का शेयर तो हमने कॉस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल एंड माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया. सो वी विल कंसिडर ओनली द शेयर्स ऑफ होल्डिंग कंपनी विच इज 1 lakh, share of 10 shares of ₹10 each. So we will write here shares of ₹10 each, या फिर I will write 10,000 shares. 1 lakh divided by 10, shares of ₹10 each, which is giving me 1 lakh. So I will write here 1 lakh. Now my next note will be for reserves and surplus. To reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus में what reserves is there? Now again, reserves and surplus of S Limited has been divided into capital profit and revenue profit. Reserves of S Limited, that is subsidiary company, 5,000, 4,000 has been divided into capital profit and revenue profit. So reserves also we will consider of only H Limited. Reserves हम consider करेंगे सिर्फ H Limited holding company का. Reserve is 10,000. Reserve is 10,000 and profit and loss account. Can anyone tell me how much it is? Here it is given 10,000, but we have prepared the working F point where consolidated profit and loss account, we have got 10,000 plus revenue profit share, which H Limited should get 4,000, that is total 14,000. So we'll write here 14,000. So total how much we get? 10 and 14, 24,000. 10 and 14 is 24,000. So we'll write here 24,000. We'll write here 24,000. Now we go to the next part, which is B. We have to write here minority interest. Minority interest is the interest of the subsidiary company in the subsidiary company, interest of subsidiary company S Limited. So how much is the minority interest? We have already calculated. Minority interest is 11,800. We will write here 11,800. Now we will go to the liabilities. So liabilities may go to the balance sheet and see what we have now. What we have now, we have share capital, ho gaya, reserves done. Now what is left out? Only creditors. And creditors we have not distributed anywhere. 5,000 plus 4,000. Creditors को current liability बोलेंगे. Creditors को current creditors is current liability. So I will write here current liabilities. And here we will write trade payables. Trade payables, we have creditors. How much we have? 5,000 plus 4,000, which is equal to 9,000. So we can write the total of liability. Then next one, that is assets. Assets also two parts. A, non-current assets, and under non-current asset we have property, plant and equipment, and equipment. So this we will divide into two types, tangible and intangible. So tangible, let us see what is there in the balance sheet. Tangible है ही नहीं. We have current asset directly given, and intangible में हमें goodwill मिला है. Cost of control में goodwill we have got 21,800. So what we will do here, tangible में we will let us write nil. Intangible में we have 21,800. Then let us go to the investment. कुछ है जो था सब divide हो गया cost of control में. See here we had investment 65,000, but हमने वो cost of control निकालते वक्त इधर show कर दिया, so that investment also will not come here. होता तो we could have written here B, non-current investment, but that has become nil because we have shown it, we have taken it into consideration while calculating the cost of control. So last one now, this is current asset. Current assets दोनों company का, because we have not shown anywhere, 60 plus 63,000. 60 plus 63,000. So we will write here 60,000 plus 63,000. Add both of them, we get 1,23,000. And finally, we have the total. So take the total, 21,800 plus 1,23,000, we get 1,44,800. Same way here also, 1 lakh plus 24,000 plus 11,800 plus 9,000, we should get 1,44,800. With this, what has happened? Our balance sheet has tallied and this sum is done. Okay, so okay everyone, with this I end today's lecture. Thank you very much.